I'm here with a video of Witchy reads. So I am trying to figure out what books I'm going to read in October, and I have so many witch themed books that I'm probably going to read some of them in November as well. I'm going to share my list with you and hopefully talking it through and any input you guys give me will help me narrow down what I'm going to read this coming month. But I'm excited, and hopefully some of these will sound awesome to you too, and if you haven't read them, add them to your TBR. October being the month of Halloween and, you know, sort of that supernatural heavy month. Like I said, I've been collecting these books throughout the year, and I was holding them until now, which I thought was an amazing idea. And now I just have too many. So let me show you what I've got. I have some that I can physically show you, and then some of them are ebooks or audiobooks, so I'll mention them and put the covers up here so you can see. And so the first book is one that I received for Christmas this past year. This was on my wish list, and my friend Tiffany was awesome and got it for me. It's The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, and this is a like gothic historical fantasy set in a small town called Bethel, and like the Salem witch trials, but yeah. So this one's supposed to be fantastic. A lot of my friends have read it already and loved it, so that's a strong contender for one I want to pick up. This is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw, and oh, I just have to show you guys, this hardcover is beautiful. It's got this right on the naked book, so it's just so pretty. But this one is about a cursed town called Sparrow, and there are three sisters who were drowned in the waters surrounding the town when they were accused of witchcraft, and they come back every year. So again, this is one that's supposed to be fantastic. So many people love it, and I just haven't read it. So this will probably be on my list for October or November at the latest, because it's finally time to get to it. One that I'm really super excited, actually two ebooks that I'm really super excited about are ones that I pre-ordered, and they just popped onto my Kindle in the last couple of days. Witch Please, and I'll put the cover right here. This one is a super cute, like, witchy rom-com, and I am super excited for something in that vein, something a little lighter. Looks so cute. And then another one, sort of in the same vein, is the Ex Hex, and I'll put that cover up here as well. Both sound super cute. My friend Erin just read the Ex Hex, and she was like, oh, you need to read this because you're gonna love it. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Another one that I just got that I am super excited about is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This one just came out not too long ago and is super, again, getting super rave reviews from all of my friends. Another one with a really pretty hardcover underneath. But again, this one is sort of about elemental witches, and I love elemental powers, people that can control, you know, earth or air or whatever. In this one, they control the weather, and I think that's a super cool premise, so I really want to read this one too. I don't know if you've ever heard of this author, but I absolutely love Deanna Chase's books. Deanna Chase writes amazing books, and they're all sort of this shorter length. These are books that I can generally sit down and read in just a couple hours, and they always have like a romance to them, and I just love them. So I have two different series from her that I want to read the next book in. So this one is Love of the Witch, and this is book 6 in the Witches of Keating Hollow series. I love this series. They are, like I said, paranormal romances. Each of them features a witch, and then it's her finding her love. And they are so good. So this is definitely going to be on my list. And then this is the first one in her other series, Premonition Point. So Witching for Grace, and I love this cover so much. The Witches of Keating Hollow, they're, I want to say like most of the main characters are late 20s, early 30s, so still a little bit of that younger vibe. But this is sort of a slightly older main character series. So Grace, the main character in this one, is 45. As much as I love young adult literature, and I always will, it's also nice once in a while to read books with main characters who are, you know, a little closer to my own age. So I'm excited for another series from Deanna Chase. This will be the first one that I try in this series, so I'm excited for that. Some audiobooks that I need to pick from as well. The audiobook Hex Life, and that one is some short stories. So that's always fun because you can do it in like little chunks, and that would be great. You know, you feel a little bit more like you're getting things done, even if it takes you longer to get through an audiobook, when you can like, I finished this short story, I finished this short story, etc. E Harrow, who wrote The 10,000 Doors of January, which I really loved, wrote The Once and Future Witches, and I'm really excited to read this one. I love her writing style, and this one is a historic. It's set in 1893, and it follows sisters who are suffragists in New Salem, which just sounds cool, and like I'd love to see how this author takes on witches, but she chonky. One of the ones I'd like to read, and I don't know if I'll fit it in now. I'm really hoping to get it done before the end of 2021 sometime, is The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness. It's book 3 in the Discovery of Witches or All Souls trilogy. And I really, really loved the first 2 books, but they're like 700 pages, and they are like very historically detailed. So like when you read those books, they're very intense. It takes a long time to read them just so that you can digest everything. Speaking of less intense books, again, there's a couple that to listen to the audiobooks because they're just lighter and more fun witchy books, and I feel like great for, you know, just having on. One of them is Haunted on Bourbon Street, and it's the first in a series, and they're short, they're like 5 hours, but it's a cute little like paranormal mystery. It sounds adorable, so I want to check that one out. And then the Slouch Witch, and so this is one that I picked up that I really want to try out. It's the first in a series again, and looks fun. It is the Black Witch. Here's the cover. These books get recommended to me all the time. People love Lori Frost books, and it sounds amazing. But I looked at the ebook and it's like 600 pages or something, and each of the books is about that long, and I want to say there's 4 or 5 of them now. So I'm trying to decide if I should wait till 2022 to start those, because I need to finish the Book of Life. So I'm hesitant to pick up more chunky books right now. That's also what's put me off from reading the next book in the Casquette Girls series, the Romeo Catchers by, but anyway, that I loved the first book, absolutely loved it. But again, it's long. This is the problem that I'm having. I'm sure some of you have the same, and I don't know how many people like me sort of self-impose this need to read X number of books a month. It's hard to pull back and say, like, I'm gonna read this one chunky one instead of 3 shorter ones, you know, because it just, I want to read everything. But it never feels like there's enough time. So anyway, these were the majority of my potential witchy TBR list. I tend to read probably about 15 books a month. I, right now, because of school, it's sort of cut back to maybe 12. I tried pushing it this month and it just didn't work out. So I'm gonna aim for sort of that slightly smaller number, and I've got a couple that I need to review for people, so that cuts this number down, this potential witchy number down even more, probably to about 7 or 8. I have to take this list that I just shared with you and cull it down to like 8 books. So if you've read any of these and you really, really, really love them, especially if they're the chunky ones, and you feel like it's worth reading the chunky one instead of 3 shorter ones, give me a shout out, because I would love to hear like your opinions so that it can help me decide what I'm doing. If you want to hear any more about some of the series that I mentioned I've already read, you know, drop me a question in the comments and I'll give you a little more info. Because I, for a long time, tried to convince myself that I didn't like witchy books, and that was a big fat lie. I really enjoy them. So now I'm embracing it, and I think I've got too many. But yeah. All right. I hope that you read something fantastically magical in the month of October, and good luck deciding what'll be on your upcoming TBR. And I hope today that you're reading something amazing.